G'day, Alice here from the Squiz Today podcast. While Squiz Kids gives you your dose of kid-friendly news, we've also got news for big people over on the Squiz Today podcast. In 10 minutes, you'll be across the morning headlines along with some fun stuff too. So, big people listening, check it out by searching for the Squiz Today in your podcasting app.
Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Squiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Christy Kijarina. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories, run through a kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend coming, including the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be Friday without it. Okay, so here's how the quiz works. First, 5 questions for kids about the weekend news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy peasy. You ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. It's one of our favourite times of year here at Squiz Kids. Alaska's Katmai National Park just kicked off a week-long competition. Can you name this famous furry-faced event? It's Fat Bear Week, of course. Question number 2. Speaking of celebrations, the AFL Grand Final took place last weekend. Can you name the team that won the 2024 Premiership? And an extra point if you know the score. And congratulations to the Brisbane Lions, who won, scoring 120 points over the Sydney Swans 60. Question number 3. A huge hurricane has been wreaking havoc in the southern United States this week. Now, you probably know that hurricanes are given human names. This one had a female name that starts with an H. What was the name of that hurricane? Well done if you knew that it's Hurricane Helene. Question number 4. On Wednesday, we discovered that a mountain that is already the tallest in the world is still growing. Can you name that mountain? That's right, it's Mount Everest. And the last one for the kids this week, question number 5. New Zealand won their way back into the record books this week, taking out a world record for the most people performing a famous traditional dance that involves chanting, stomping, and even sticking out your tongue. What is the name of that dance? Great work, kids, if you got the haka. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? Reckon you're going to beat the adults? Yeah, I reckon so too. Okay, adults, now it's your turn. Fire up that old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. There was some big news from the royal family this week, with Princess Beatrice announcing she's expecting her second little royal. What relation is Princess Beatrice to King Charles? Well done, adults, if you said that she is his niece. Question number 2. The US is gearing up for elections in November, and the vice presidential candidates hit the debate stage on Wednesday. Can you name both of the VP candidates? A point for you if you said JD Vance and Tim Walz. Question number 3. a historic shift will occur in the UK on Monday as they officially stop using a major fuel source to generate electricity. Do you know which energy source will be switched off for good? Well done, adults, if you said coal. Question number 4. The NRL men's and women's grand finals are set to be played this Sunday. The Penrith Panthers are facing the Melbourne Storm in the men's game. After Sunday, how many grand final matches in a row will the Panthers have played? It's a whopping 5 grand finals in a row. Come on, the Panthers. Question number 5, and speaking of the NRL, can you tell me which NRL and NRLW players were awarded Players of the Year for the 2024 season? And you can have 1 point for each. Those 2 players were Jerome Hughes and Olivia Kernick. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who won bragging rights this week? And if you've missed any of those cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all this week's kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. That's the end of the quiz, which means that now it's time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, October 4. On this day, way back in 1957, the world's first human-made satellite was sent up into orbit around the Earth. It was called Sputnik 1. And today also marks the start of World Space Week. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today and over the coming weekend. And because it's a Friday, we're going to crack out that old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! It's a very happy birthday to Ethan from Frankston, Jack from French's Forest, Bronson from Windsor, Daniela from Cannon Hill, Noah from Aldinga Beach, Sebastian from Forest Lake, Eloise from Brisbane, Cy from Thaguna, Jared from Everton Hills, Finn from Wheelers Hill, Asher and Max from Tempe, Amber from Zacoli, Shreya from Nightcliff, Alex from Bolwyn, and Ella from Warrnambool. And a belated birthday shout out goes to Austin from Upper Coomera. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning, and the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as our other excellent content free too. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's a Classroom Companion. Our teacher-produced classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to the daily podcast on Monday, and whose entire back catalogue is able to be searched via our website. Genius! Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this audio content will magically appear. Well, that's all we have time for. As Monday is a public holiday for much of Australia, we'll be back in your ears on Tuesday with a shortcut to the space race to celebrate World Space Week. For now though, this is Christy Kijarina signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.